I am the one that knocks.
The one who's got
Know
the
that,
jar
like-
of meth next to the pasta.
She's got that like carved on the back of her like sauce spoon.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
She does
I
have
mean,
a
listen,
wooden spoon in the picture.
Nona been a real one,
She's
and
so
you just need to know that. You need to
cute.
recognize.
Hold on, let
You
me
know what?
copy
I
this
love
picture.
that for you, Ref. Like,
The original
absolutely get that and
brioche.
send me a picture because I want to
I'm
see
genuinely
Nana
listen.
absolutely cooking it up.
She's cooking it up, and she looks great.
She does.
She looks wonderful. She's having a great
Call
time.
her
Oh my
now.
god, they have it as a drink. JD, isn't that great? You can get it as a carbonated beverage.
Oh,
No.
It's more fun
carbonated?
when
No,
it's more
absolutely
fun
not.
as the meth
Gotta be
pellet.
carbonated to settle your tummy.
Yes, but and if you spiked it, now we're cooking.
So we're
We're already
crossfading.
cooking.
So we're crossfading with meth and alcohol. Sounds
But
great.
it settles your tum.
Yeah.
Mm,
With the
So
hint
what-
of lemon flavor.
the hint of lemon. Okay.
I don't
You
know.
want to make sure the water's cold when you pour it into the cup, though, because it tastes a little weird with its warm water, cold water.
We wouldn't want it to be
What?
weird.
Right. We wouldn't want it to be strange. We wouldn't hate for that to happen.
We'd hate that.
Was that how you had it, JD? Is that why you didn't like it? Was it warm?
I
No,
refuse
it's just
to answer.
it's just everything about it.
Everything about it.
It's because you're not Italian.
For context, chat, we're talking about an Italian stomach remedy that inexplicably looks exactly like crystal meth.
It does. It just does. And you can't convince me otherwise. What's it called?
Oh, brioche.
Barielski, which does not sound Italian.
Nope, sure doesn't.
It's an Italian product. It's to settle your tum tum.
I get
grew
that.
up with it.
I know what you're saying, and I believe you, but here's the thing. It doesn't look or sound anything like Italian, is all I'm going to say.
You say it like brioche. It's kind of Italian.
Nope, that sounded Polish.
Yeah.
Well, now that I found the website, JD, I can buy a bottle for our.
Yeah, I'm
You feel
literally
a little
about to go buy
nauseous.
some. They have reviews, and all of the reviews have 5 stars.
I know.
Yeah, well, that's
It
what
works.
happens. You real happy when you can get your meth legally.
Speaking as somebody with ADHD, true.
I mean, look, it's so convenient and not illegal. I'll take 1 meth, please. I don't know. What do you want?
I'm just
I'll
gonna
take 5.
5 stars. Hold on.
You're just giving it a 5-star review right now?
What am I doing? I
No,
have my phone open for a
I'm
reason.
sharing the 5-star reviews.
Fantastic. Is it from NanoWap?
It's from
1738. That's her birth year.
Oh my god, oh my god! Hold on.
You're good, Rap? You're good?
What just
Oh
happened?
my
Are you sharing a
God,
review you just
wow.
found?
Yeah, I'm sharing reviews.
Where are you sharing them to? Because
Did you put it in
Well,
the
I shared it. I have to break this one up because it's too long. I'm gonna put it in Discord. It's wonderful though. It's a great review.
Oh my
Honestly,
god.
I'm convinced. I want to stock my house
CJD
up.
5 stars. You just got to be Italian to appreciate this.
Okay, well then
Yeah, well, I'm not, so
Clearly.
tragic.
I am alone
I
in my
guess.
corner. Well, no. Raph might join me until they taste it, and then we'll see if they stay in my corner or if they join
The
JD's
last
side.
bit is in Italian.
I love this.
I want some
JD.
so bad now.
You
JD,
get
take it away
it
before
seems
we
like
get
you
lost.
just
I'm going to take
order
it
it.
away before we go more unhinged than
It
we already
seems
are.
like-
scare the
It
chat
seems
away
like
with
you
my
can just
Italian
order it.
upbringing. Yeah.
I'm gonna order.
Della is busy putting in an order, as we can tell.
Yes.
You know what
I'm
I'm
gonna
like.
DoorDash some brioche right now.
I'm proud of
Please
this.
put. I need you to say that, except in a really thick New York accent. I need you to say that again. Take 2, thick New York accent.
It has to be grandma though.
Yeah.
Oh. So you gotta
Anyway,
you gotta.
look at it.
We're high in a
Incredible.
church, are we not?
Yes.
So this is
is
on
actually
brand.
in character.
This is exactly the
Absolutely.
conversation that has unfolded since we left you staring at the painting of Siobhan as the Virgin Mary.
Right.
Oh
But we'll
yeah.
get to that in a second, because we are going to do housekeeping stuff first. So hi, everyone. If you have stayed thus far, you're probably used to how we begin sessions here. It is often a lot like that. If you are brand new to us, hopefully you will stay, because we bring this chaotic energy all the way through, but a little more targeted towards storytelling as we begin. We are live from the apocalypse. We are a not-for-profit TTRPG studio that raises money for aid organizations and progressive causes. Currently, we are raising money for Rainbow Railroad. I do not offer incentives like some of us on this call do when we are GMing. However, I do promise that the more donations we get, the more chaotic things that will happen. So we've gotten a few. The chaos is ramping up. 2 people are semi-possessed. Let's see if we can make it 4 by the end of tonight. That could be a good time. We lost Raph because it was too haunted.
Sophie's resisting. That's why.
It's true.
Sophie's. We're see who's going to be the last holdout, Sophie or Kai.
They're
Yeah.
just they're just not willing to give up Sophie.
It's
Oh.
true. It's true. And I can understand. I can
Yeah, because
understand
then
why.
if I go before Sophie, then Sophie has to be the responsible one.
Yup.
And I
Yep.
imagine that's going to go not well. I'm
She
enjoying
has
it,
all
but-
the lab rats. Just taking notes on the lab
Mhm.
rats. Loose on the island.
Yep.
Hi, yay!
Welcome back,
Hello.
Raph.
It's just gonna be one of those nights, you know it is.
It's fine.
It be like that sometimes.
Yeah,
Be like
we'll,
that.
we'll roll with
Yeah,
it.
we
We're
started
good
with
that.
Italian crystal meth, so it's okay.
Yeah.
That is okay. So yes, donations. If you want to donate, you can find the donation button very easily. We have made it incredibly visible. It is where the subscribe button used to be. We have subsequently hidden the subscribe button. You can find it if you choose to poke around. However, one, we would prefer that you give money directly to the organization we are supporting, as Rainbow Railroad uses their funds to help relocate LGBT people and especially trans people who are in unsafe living situations to get to better, safer living situations, whether that is moving from country to country to another geographic region, or whatever else they might need. So we encourage those donations rather than subscriptions. Put that money directly towards the organization. We cannot stop you from subscribing. We have just made it very hard. If you choose to subscribe, and if you want to throw a Prime sub at us, we'll take that. Just know that Brennan Lee Mulligan will kill 1 dog for every month that you have been subscribed. So decide whether or not you can live with yourself. And if you can, choose that option. But we would rather that money go to Rainbow Railroad. I can promise you I will not make more chaotic things happen if you subscribe. I will make more chaotic things happen if you donate. So consider that as well. This is Redacted. Redacted is a psychological horror game that uses Powered by the Apocalypse, and we will move into content warnings and a brief review of where we left things. But first, I would like our cast to go around and introduce themselves, their regular character, their current character, if that is different from the one that they usually play, and which playbooks those characters are using. Starting with, as always, you, Steph.
Hey. Hi, I'm Stephanie. I'm playing Kai Caldwell, still just Kai. He's holding out. He is using the Martyr playbook currently, and he just got a new move because he had a level up last week. So we'll see how this keeps going for him.
We love to see
Only
all
good
of
things, I'm
that.
sure.
Only. I can promise only good things happen in this game. Really good things are going to happen given your suggestion of what an incentive could be, just so you know.
What? It's a great idea.
I love you. Know that I love you. Q.
Concerned.
Hello. It me. Hi, I'm Q. I'm on the internet as Midnight Inc. That's Midnight_INQ. Q is my name. I'm sure you get it. It's been a week with a capital W, so I'm here. I am playing not Weston. He's here physically. Mentally, he's fucked off. And in his place, there is the ghost Raven, who is just here to have a good time. Absolutely not the trickster playbook. Don't even worry about it.
I'm sure it's fine. And just remind us, Q, what is Weston's playbook?
Oh, right. The villain. It's fine.
Yeah, it's so fine. Everything is fine. Speaking of fine, Della.
Hi, I'm Della. I'm fine. I have a little shark guy. Would somebody who is super fine have a little shark guy? Not have a little shark guy? I don't think so. I think you can tell.
What is
I'm
that
super
for?
fine. It's for picking up these little fishies.
Where did you get that?
Target. When you have
Make
small children, little pieces of plastic like this appear in your home. Like how flies are spontaneously birthed from cheese. It's how
I'm
that works.
sorry. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
what?
Can confirm.
Listen,
got it.
16th century understanding of
16th
how
biology.
of how biology works was wild.
Yeah.
Moving on. I'm Della. I'm fine. I'm playing Rachel, also playing Siobhan. They are currently sharing a body, and they're getting along pretty okay, actually. They are respectively the parent and the martyr.
Absolutely incredible. And super fine, Bonham Est.
Bonham Est.
And last but not least, Raph.
Hi. I am playing I forgot for a second. Sorry. I'm playing Sophia Ann McAllister. She's actually the most normal right now, the mom of the group, you could say. She's actually she's like trip sitting. That's what she would call it.
Correct.
It's not incorrect.
It's not wrong.
It's not right. But she is convinced that's what's happening. She's great. She's actually, things have only gotten better for her, to be totally honest. So, she's, let me just say this. Her dissertation is going to change the world.
Her dissertation about murder?
Yeah.
About serial killer?
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
See,
Right.
I'm just.
And she's definitely doing.
I'm playing the child. There we go.
Yeah,
I forgot about
yeah,
that.
yes, I was going to ask. You are the
Right,
mom
and-
of the group, but you are the child.
Yes, I am the mom of the group. I'm playing the child, and I want that freaking shark so bad.
Okay. And just so that we are clear, you are absolutely doing that dissertation, right? This isn't just some like neurotic break that you're going through, right?
Absolutely not. Absolutely
Okay.
writing my heart out.
No,
Actually,
Della,
if
your audio's
I was
gone.
being forced, if I was being forced to stay in the hotel last night, I would be fighting up a storm.
What I was saying is that actually a neurotic break that you're going through actually describes the process of doing a dissertation pretty well. So
There you go.
Yeah,
You know what?
no, you're not wrong.
Absolutely fair. That's absolutely valid.
Actually, my dissertation was the easiest part of everything in grad school, but that was probably an anomalous situation / representing how bad everything else was.
Yikes.
It's fine. It's fine.
grad
Being
school's
a grad
great.
student's
Everyone should go get advanced degrees.
Sophie
I don't think
is
least
having a
once.
great time.
I don't think that's true. No, you don't do that. All right, yeah, so we're high in a church. We are
Yep.
Well,
high-
you guys are. I'm trip sitting.
That is not
That is
inaccurate.
That's what she's gonna call it.
You are observing while we are high than a bitch. Okay.
And so, before we dive in, as a reminder, some of the content warnings in Redacted include cults, religion, fire, burns and burning, medical abuse and neglect, ritualistic murder, gaslighting and manipulation, and drowning. There are no other ones that I currently have planned to add to tonight's session. However, if anything comes up, I will do my best to ensure I can check in with the chat with the cast while we are on break, and I will also let you know if we start moving in that direction, what may be coming. The cast, of course, we've gone over lines and veils, but for those of you watching, if we move into territory that you are uncomfortable with, since this is a horror game, please feel free to step away. We will never be upset with you prioritizing your own well-being and safety. And so with that, we last left our group, 3 of them having taken varying amounts of an edible at the church of Our Lady Star of the Sea. In that church, they found the mural of the dead girls who had been killed by a serial killer decades ago, with one conspicuous exception. Shaban, who knows that she was a victim of that serial killer, was nowhere in sight, nor is she in any record that Sophie, doing her dissertation on this serial killer, has found. However, I believe it was Raven, upon further exploration, stepped into a side chapel and discovered that Siobhan had her own painting, an image of her as the Virgin Mary. But that is not quite where we are beginning. We open instead on a sign. It's a familiar type of sign. You know the ones with the movable letters that tend to sit outside churches or places like that. The ones that always make them look a little off, a little tacky, but you can change the message from week to week, so it makes sense that we would see a sign like that here. Well, it should be a sign like that. Was it a sign like that just a moment ago? Because it's not that right now. Instead, beneath the larger sign, painted in blues and greens that name the church beyond, is the space where one of those marquees would usually sit. And there is, in fact, a sign there. But instead of the white background with black letters spelling out words, this is a hanging wooden sign latched onto the larger one above. And painted on it are the words, "Save us from the wrath of the Lamb." Which is strange because that isn't the direct passage from the book of Revelations. That is sometimes how people summarize it, but you would think that they would be quoting actual scripture on a sign like this. Also, it's worth questioning what is so important about those words that the time was taken to paint them and memorialize them for, one could assume, at least a decently long period of time, if they've chose to hang it there. Now the church of Our Lady Star of the Sea stands, shrouded in fog. The pale stone of the building is salt-encrusted, and there is not enough light on this cloudy day to shine through the stained glass windows. But we still see them, and we can imagine how they would look in the sunlight. These windows move around the church in a sequence, and we might think that they would show something like the Stations of the Cross. Those are not the religiously iconic images that are contained. In fact, none of these are the usual ones. for a Catholic church. These tell a story, perhaps, but not one found in the Bible, or at least not known parts of the Bible. But who's to say what is scripture and what isn't? The windows on the left-hand side show a young man in a medical jacket, standing in profile at a window, looking out at the water beyond. The next one shows a large building covered in ash. And while that image should and could look disturbing, there's something almost peaceful about it, maybe stemming from the glint of water in the background. The third shows what one would almost take to be an image of Ophelia, as it is a young woman lying with her hands folded over her chest, submerged in water. And the next is the first that does not contain water anywhere in the imagery, as it is of a series of benches in the midst of a clearing in the woods. The final one on that side is of the water at moonrise, the waves almost seeming to be moving despite the fact that they're made of glass, and with small lights glowing under the water, and something large and dark beneath the surface. On the other side, the windows are different. One's closer to what you might expect in this type of setting. The first, a young priest, stands in the waves, his clerical vestments dampened. He's lowering someone into the water for a baptism, while a line of figures await their turn, stretch out to the side. In the second, a congregation is standing, their voices raised in song, though the walls of the church around them are murky. In fact, could this be a reflection of the image we saw in the forest on the other side? The third is of a person kneeling, maybe for absolution, some sort of confession. They face the viewer, and behind them is a figure coated in shadow. Perhaps a priest. Perhaps something else. In the next one, a person holds out their hand to accept communion, and we see a burn mark on the side of it. And the final one on that side is the mirror image of the other one, once again of the water, but this time at daylight. There's a faint mist over the waves. There is a bit of a hint of the shadows moving beneath, but with the way the light glints off, shadows almost seem radiant, and the effect is less one of trepidation than it is of ethereal beauty. But we don't linger on that, of course. We continue on our way to the cemetery that stands behind the church itself. We move through the rows of gravestones, catching brief snippets of names and dates. And then we pause, gazing above the stones, and we hear the sound of footsteps. Footsteps moving across the grass towards us. We see a gloved hand rest on the stone in front of us, and we move down a little, just enough to see the name. Isaiah Carpenter. Then we rise to see that that gloved hand left an item on top. A lock of dark hair. But we don't linger on that because we never linger for long. Instead, we move back towards the church and through the stained glass window that rises above the altar in the back. This stained glass, much like the others, is not what you would expect to see in a Catholic church. This one, we presume, maybe will be the image of the crucifixion, maybe an image of the resurrection. I mean, after all, we all know that the stained glass window above the altar, being such a central focus, is the most important, and often the first one that's usually put in. But this one contains the iconography of the Virgin Mary, which is perhaps unsurprising given the name of this church. She is draped in a loose-fitting dress with what looks like a star, in fact, perhaps a starfish, at her breast. There is a halo around her head, and at her feet are lapping waves. And seaweed wraps up around her ankles, and there are all manner of sea creatures moving around her and in the water behind her. Fish, crabs, something maybe with tentacles reaching out. But we move towards the chapel off to the side where there are voices. Well, there were voices, but now these voices have quieted. Where do we find, or more should I say, what do we find the four of you doing as you have been faced with this painting of Siobhan?
This is fucked. And I just wanted you to know that.
I don't rightly know whether I should be flattered or offended. Both.
Probably both.
I'm
That seems
feeling
the most. Both seems accurate.
both seems right. This is blasphemous as all hell.
It's
Some
fascinating.
religious perverted repression shit is what it is. It's not funny. I don't know. Well, I know I'm laughing. Sorry. It's not funny.
That's
It's
what she
absolutely
said.
not.
Not it. I mean, it's not.
That's you.
It sure is.
But why are you here? Why were
'Cause
you
some
excluded?
dumb mother. I wasn't excluded. I'm here, and that motherfucker. Excuse my French, in a fucking church. Excuse my French. Again, I feel like I'm gonna have to.
I feel like that's fine in this church. This is weird fucking church.
I feel like I should light a candle. I'm gonna light a candle. I'll light a candle later. But that son of a bitch killed me. That son of a bitch killed me.
You said it twice. The third time, do it. Do it.
That son of a bitch. And she says this like turned directly into Raven's face, like putting her finger in his chest. That son of a bitch killed me.
He sure did. Now, theory. So, write this down. Fantastic. Okay. You were the blueprint.
The first?
Maybe. The time seems a little weird.
But she remembers.
I remember some of these girls going missing.
Uh-huh.
So she wasn't the blueprint.
Now,
but maybe
might not be the first. It might not be the first killed, but the first that caught his eye.
And like what, he was practicing until he got to her?
She was special.
Ew. Oh.
Clearly.
Dude, just jerk off in your bedroom and deal with it. Fuck.
I mean, listen, this man was outside in the middle of summer with that hot-ass jacket on. So, clearly unhinged. However, we now know the connection. Do you want to still check for the body?
Oh.
I do want to go to the graveyard, yes. I wasn't thinking we were going to dig up the body. What do you mean you want to check on the body?
We're not digging up shit.
I ain't digging up shit.
Oh, fair. You know what? That's fair. We don't have a shovel anyway.
Why would we add to the suspicion that may or may not be on us?
Why would you
assume my guy?
There's no suspicion on me. I didn't do anything.
This is. Everyone's gonna look a little weird at the outsiders. Small towns, sure. Outsiders. Yeah.
Sure.
That's why I would like.
Also, why is no one here right now?
Because it's a Wednesday.
Sure. There should be at least a priest.
Oh, maybe he's in the back.
Especially because I don't know
Or
if you
maybe
know
he's with
this.
the
Somebody
family of the
died.
victim. Maybe he's like offering bereavement
Is there
services or
one?
whatever the fuck they do.
I suppose we were at the people. We were with her boyfriend. So sure.
I'm gonna go to where the
Well,
So
church
wait.
offices probably are. I'm gonna go like find where the church offices are and just go.
Oh boy.
Yeah, that is totally fair. And I feel like Siobhan has had enough time around churches to kind of gauge where that would be. And I'm going to do
Oh
the
no.
thing that
Oh no,
everyone
why are you
always,
rolling?
that always hates. Everyone
We
always
love a
hates.
luck roll. We love a luck roll.
oh dear.
This won't affect me.
So you make it to that door, Siobhan, and I mean it's marked. It clearly says like office beyond, employees only, that type of thing.
Mm.
It's locked.
I'm going to knock politely but firmly. Shave and haircut.
Incredible. All right, so Siobhan, you are standing there. You knock,
Hmm.
and the door opens. But as the door opens, time slows down.
Nope.
You feel like you're suddenly moving through quicksand, and the hallway beyond is just dark.
I take a step forward.
Crossing through the door.
Yes.
All right, Siobhan, you step through, and you are just in pure darkness. The darkness that you might have expected in front of you and to the sides, but when you turn to look, as I would presume you do, darkness behind you.
I know I'm not dead. 'Cause there's an eye to do the perceiving. You son of a bitch. You can't fucking scare me. Not like this. What the fuck are you after? Who are you?
I think I'm gonna have you roll with Shadow.
You fucking bet. Okay.
Let's
All
go.
right. Let's go. I'm gonna have to use a dice roller because my die rolled. I was fiddling with it at my desk and then it went away as it do. Okay, so that's an 8.
Incredible.
5 and a 1 is a 6, plus 2 is an 8.
We absolutely love to see that. And so, with that, Siobhan, there is no immediate answer. But the world around you starts to come back into focus. And you're not standing in a hallway in the church any longer. You are out in the graveyard.
Whose grave am I in front of?
It's not a name you recognize when you look down, which I think surprises you. And that is when you feel a set of eyes burning a hole into your back.
Come around and say hi.
There is no immediate answer. How long does Siobhan wait?
Probably like 3 breaths before she gets impatient and turns around.
And Siobhan, you turn, expecting to see someone there, but there's no one in sight. However, you can see a piece of paper on a gravestone a few rows over, fluttering in the wind.
I'll go and pick it up.
Do you look at the grave first?
Oh yeah.
It's Isaiah Carpenter's grave. And that lock of hair
that the
is
paper is
still
on
there.
with.
Yep. And it. Go ahead.
I have 2 questions. First question, whose body am I presently in? When I look down at myself, because Rachel's body is not like Siobhan's body, whose body am I in?
That is an excellent question because you are in Siobhan's body.
Pick up the hair. Am I missing a lock of hair?
Interesting.
Sort of run my hands through.
You are missing a lock of hair at the, like nape of the neck where it wouldn't easily be identified. But what you immediately notice is the shade of this hair. It's dark like yours, but it's a few shades off. You know it doesn't belong to you.
I'm gonna check out this piece of paper. What's on it?
That's where things get even stranger because you gave this person 3 breaths. You were not out here for that long. And who just carries around paper to hastily write a note in the span of a few seconds? It's not very likely that there would be a letter that is clearly meant for you that could have just been left by accident just in time for you to see it. But you're pretty sure it is meant to you, and you're pretty sure it relates directly to those words you said. Because it simply reads, "You are a goddess, and I am not worthy to receive you yet. But I am working to make myself holy. I will be worthy of you one day."
There is no fire hot enough to purify you. There is no salt water acrid
Yeah,
enough
just
Had
fucking
fun.
grip it,
cleanse
rip
the
it,
world of
baby.
your stain.
Slop that down, dude. Shit,
Go
yeah,
fuck
dude.
yourself.
Crack one for the
Make
big
yourself
boy.
holy. Spits on the ground and is gonna like turn to walk back into the church.
First of all, thank you, Brendan. We appreciate the donation. More chaotic things can now happen. Della, that was literal fire, incredible. A plus. So, funny thing. You look for the church. You don't see it.
I am profoundly sick of this shit. Where on the island is this? What's like behind the church? What's like behind? What is there like a what's my backdrop?
Very fair question, and I am pulling up the map right now to reorient myself as I am taking a look at this. And so the church is in the midst of the town. It is a little bit closer to the water, not quite on the edge, but getting there. And so you should see the backdrop of that as well, but everything is just fog. And it seems like the gravestones, I mean, Siobhan, you were in town for much longer than Rachel was, and maybe the cemetery expanded, since your death, but the rows seem to go on and on and on to where you're pretty sure the edge of the water used to be.
I don't want to play this game anymore. I don't. I don't want to do this. What'll it take to get you to let me check out? Show me what it'll take.
And Siobhan, that is when you hear a voice from somewhere off to the right and a little bit above you say, "I thought you loved playing games, Siobhan." And you look up, and Isaiah Carpenter, not the Isaiah Carpenter that you all met, but the one that you remember, Siobhan, leather jacket and all, is sitting up in the tree, leg up, sketchbook propped up on it, staring down at you. And that is where we are going to leave Siobhan, seething in rage, to go to the other three.
No, I'm
See
so
what they're
stressed.
getting
Why
up
the
to.
fuck
I'm
is he in a tree?
sweating.
Illegal. Illegal.
Why is he in a tree? What Peter Pan nonsense is this shit?
The fuck,
Of all the
Jamie?
things,
Cat
you guys
shit.
could have jumped on, the tree was not
That
the one I
makes
was
it
expecting.
worse.
It's
That
so
makes
like,
it worse.
bitch, you are not Puck. Stop.
Right. There's an element that the tree adds that you're just kind of like, what is this? What the shit is this? Anyway,
Woodland creature.
How'd you get up there with no
Right.
one hearing you? Like,
Anyway, having a great time.
so
fucking ghost in a tree.
I know Sophie probably doesn't notice Siobhan leave, and definitely is looking at, like, running between the two paintings, the two murals. And I guess I want to try to see. She's not an art student, but maybe she'll ask Kai. She's running back and forth, making notes, and then at one point she'll just grab Kai and say, you like studied art or something like that, right? So
I'm a tailor.
I mean,
The customer.
you're around artists.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, cool, great. That's all I need. Okay, so can you tell if, like, maybe these paintings, were they painted around the same time? Was it like one was painted first, this one was painted second? You know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to figure out the timeline for the paintings themselves, since the timeline Siobhan gave us was, you know what I mean?
I'm still tripping a little bit, so I think maybe kind of, sort of, sure.
It's gonna get worse, by the way.
Oh, I know. I know. This is a great time. I'm already.
Do you need, like, water?
No, I'm good.
Is it like?
No, I think I'm just gonna let this ride, because
purple?
otherwise I'm gonna get a little more stressed. So I'm just gonna enjoy not being as stressed for as long as I can, because I feel like it's gonna be more
Enjoy
stressful.
the high, otherwise it becomes a bad high.
And we're not gonna do that in this fucking murder church. We're not gonna do that. JD, is there a placard with a date where, like, the name would be?
Oh, that'll do it. Yeah.
Like, because I'm assuming there's, like, painted by so and so and the date. Like, if this is like a framed picture of the Virgin Mary, is the date there?
They both are signed by Isaiah Carpenter.
Yeah.
And the dates are the same. At least the year is the same.
Oh, the year is the same?
Was the year?
That I'm going to have to quickly check my notes for.
That's fine. I'll just put same year in my notes.
Of my head.
Same year.
Right. Same year.
So which was done first, the mural or the Virgin Mary portrait?
It is not clear based on this piece. It is 1935 is the date on them. There is no month on either one.
Gotcha.
Okay. I'm sure the historical museum or the history museum of the town, maybe they have some sort of, like, notation, or it maybe Siobhan found the priest. We can talk to them and see it. Maybe ask them when.
Yeah, I'm sure there's at least a record of when he did the mural, because that would have taken more time than a painting.
Wow.
I mean, it definitely would have, because there's, like, multiple girls. And
right,
there's
but
just
some artists. I mean, I thought you would know, like, that some artists spend years on, like, a single painting versus.
Yeah, so I guess depending on when he killed her, he could have just been sitting on that, in which case there would be no record of when he actually did it.
Right. Although, Raven, I think you have a point. I think Siobhan, I know the timeline is weird, but I think you're right. I think that she was the goal or something. She was definitely, she meant more to him than the other ones did.
Yeah, he made her the Virgin Mary. That's some weird, like, obsessive. Is it edible? Is it edible?
No. It's
whatever it is, working.
And it's perverted.
Religious. Yeah,
it's definitely perverted.
Right. Not hero worship per se, but definitely, like, it's a divinity thing. She's definitely. There we go. Find iconography. Idol worship.
Horny for iconography.
This one is, church sanctions iconography.
Right, but the interesting thing too, though, is that there is a space in the mural for Siobhan, and then he purposefully chose not to, like, to leave an empty space and then to put her as the Virgin Mary.
Because he knew she was a victim, but it seems like the wider population didn't, but he still wanted her here, so he plopped her in there like a freak.
Right, but it's almost like a little a little inside joke for himself, right? He looks at the mural and he says, "There's an empty spot, and I know why." No one else kind of notices.
And then he can just go in the chapel
stare.
and giggle,
right? And stare at her, which is
and
watch others worship her as well.
Right? They always have a tell. You know, the thing that they do that's like, hey, it was me the whole time.
All right, so I guess congrats on your dissertation, Sophie. You can now say who killed everyone. I mean, you're gonna have to find info on Siobhan, sure. But I mean, he definitely either did it or knew who did it and was cool with it. Because, like,
he was definitely involved somehow, but that doesn't mean he actually did it. If especially for like involving some sort of religious, you know, something, then there might have been equal worship for whoever was doing it.
So like a
and
Bonnie
maybe he was just
Clyde,
like the painter,
but religious perverts type thing.
Right, definitely not doing it alone.
No,
I mean, Siobhan only remembered one person, Isaiah, by the sound of it.
Again,
that was
Siobhan's memory is not.
I mean, she remembers who was there when she died. Well, at least she remembers the number of people killing her.
This place has
but trauma locks up your memories and hides things from you all the time.
Yeah, apparently hid a whole fucking ghost in Rachel.
And one in
one in Dom Weston, whoever he is. For some reason that's not related to the serial killings.
Yeah, how are you involved in this, Raven?
Me?
Well, he's not involved in this shit. This was before him.
You know, I definitely was not around for the serial killer shit.
So
right, but you have to have been like
here?
Did you know did you know Isaiah Carpenter II?
JD, did I?
You did. He was an artist as well. And
was he one of the faithful?
Yep. He was one of the faithful.
What is up with this?
Is he still alive?
No. No. No.
Oh.
It was a wild time.
Well, sure.
Yeah, a lot of people listen, they burned hot.
Was it weed? Was it a weed overdose?
Sophie.
What? No.
What?
Weed? That was the light shit.
Girl. No.
What? It's drugs.
Weed is nothing comparatively.
Oh.
To what?
LSD?
For one.
I mean,
like,
fair.
Look,
this is not my area of expertise. So,
well, trust me, I've dabbled. I'm curious how things have progressed, but I'm fairly certain the psycho in my head would take offense to that. Even the weed is a little much right now. He's not.
Yeah, just fucking grip it and rip it, baby. Slop that down,
Thank
dude.
You.
Yeah, dude. Crack one for the big boy.
Just so that we're, so you all didn't know him before you got here, right?
Dominic?
No, I literally met him on the way.
Yeah.
Keep saying Dominic, and that does sound right, but also does not feel right. But that's all I got for you. So
that's what he told us his name was.
That is technically correct.
Another thing being subtle about. Cool.
Hey, I don't know if you know this. He's bad.
You've been giving me those vibes about him. Yeah. Not the
worst. The worst.
Not in bed.
I mean, I could probably do better, but.
Are you high? Are you high?
Yes.
Okay, so yes, but it's not even the worst of it. So we really should get out of the place where there's a grave right next to it. Do we need anything else from here?
Oh, well, let's see if Siobhan found the priest. And then we can ask him about the different times. Maybe they have a record here.
Sure. Sounds good. Let's
Hey,
go.
JD.
Yep.
Before we walk out of the chapel, just because Kai is feeling a little less uptight than the stress has been making him, I want to make a know your unknown fate roll.
Okay.
That's my new move. You
I
know how
would
your
love that
story
for
will
you.
end. Activate this move to ask the analyst for the end of your story. And that is what am I rolling? Is that a shadow roll?
That shadow roll.
Okay. And that was 2d6?
Yep.
Okay. Shadows. That is just a 7.
Okay.
So mixed success.
So
Point of psychic damage. Yay.
Before I respond to that, who steps out of the chapel first? That actually all makes perfect sense because Raven, as you step through just that space between the chapel and the church itself, much like happened with Siobhan, time slows down. I would imagine your immediate thoughts are, okay, the edible's kicking in.
Correct.
Kind of combined with, but it shouldn't be, given what I'm used to, but also this isn't my body.
Right, that part. That whole mental breakdown, yeah.
And you're walking through the church and aiming for, well, a doorway of some sort, because you're not quite sure where Siobhan disappeared. She just walked out and hasn't come back yet. And as you're moving through the pews, things start to change. And they're no longer the wooden pews of the church, but carved benches. And the ground beneath your feet is no longer marble floor, it is grass. And the altar is now a burning pyre.
There's a comfort, and then the slow realization, oh wait, no. But I think Raven is still gonna move forward. So you said it's a burning part, like actively burning right this second?
Actively burning right this second.
Gotcha. Is there a body in it?
There is not.
Okay, good. I am keeping my eyes and ears open for anyone that might join me. But yeah, no, I'm just gonna take my spot at one of the front pews and just sort of lean back, relax for a sermon, probably.
And we're going to leave Raven there for the moment. Sophie, you step out right behind Raven. He's no longer there. The church is empty and silent.
Kai? Raven? Can I look around.
You can definitely look around.
He ran out.
The front doors are closed.
Oh, fine.
No other doors are open that you can see.
Raven, I know that the treat is probably messing with your head right now. And I'm just gonna start walking up and down, seeing if he's like laying down. I can get you some water. I know this might be scary. It's like a kind of a weird situation. Hello? Just gonna look for him.
And I think it's as you're walking back and forth, Sophie, you realize Kai's also gone. And you have no idea how he could have disappeared because he was behind you. Like, Raven could have gone out the front doors. He could have found a door off to the side. He could be taking a nap behind the altar for all you know. Like, there's plenty of options, but Kai was right there and now he isn't.
I think Sophie immediately takes out her phone and checks the time, like the date and time. And then if everything looks normal, makes a note of that date and time, and then just starts looking around where Raven and Kai went to see if there's any sort of changes. Like, I don't know if that's a read the room or anything like that, but definitely starts looking to see if there's something, if it's them or if it's her, you know.
Okay, yeah, that would be a read the room, so roll with awareness.
Okay. Oh, that is plus awareness. What is my awareness? That is an 8.
Okay. And so with that, if you want the question to be like, is it them or is it me?
Yeah, I do want
choose
that.
one from the list.
No, I do want that, and then I also am going to use a child's eyes.
Amazing. Incredible. I love that for you so much. So for the first, you are looking and you're looking at your phone, you're checking the time, you're checking the date. And it strikes you that initially you looked and you were like, yeah, this all lines up. You know, we left brunch at this time, we got here around this time. Yeah, that all tracks. But when you keep looking at your phone, the time is the same. So you're realizing it's definitely you. It might also be them. Given that the date is correct, you haven't gone back in time, you haven't gone forward in time. But in this moment, it does seem that time has stopped.
Okay. I think she's like confirming this by like staring at her phone and counts 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, all the way to 60, and notices the time doesn't change. And then I think she's gonna take this opportunity to snoop in the church. I think places where I think she just like starts digging around. This is not something that is, she knows, like socially acceptable. But this is a unique opportunity. So making notes of everything of her surroundings, if anything changes, But honestly, like going to like the altar, like looking around if there's any sort of boxes or like chests or doors or anything, just opening everything and trying to see if there's some sort of clue as to what is going on or anything about Isaiah Carpenter, if there's information, another painting, sketch, like anything. Clearly he was tied to the church pretty strongly. So maybe even trying to go into where Siobhan went as far as like the church office area.
That all makes perfect sense, and especially using your move. There are several things that you find, Sophie. So one of them I will be sending to you over break. Because you find, as you're looking around, you're just kind of taking a moment. You sit down on one of the pews. You kind of absentmindedly like reach for the hymn book that is right there. You start just kind of flipping through, and it doesn't take long before you realize two people were writing notes to each other in the margin. And
they're not signed?
They are not signed, but I will be sending you that as we head into break.
Okay.
Because I don't think you fully have enough time to really read through. Like, I think you start noticing this isn't just someone like having made one note. These are full conversations between two people.
I'll get that shit for sure.
The other thing you find is a bit more information about the mural. So as you're looking around, you do find that in the entryway, which you would all kind of move through pretty quickly in pursuit of the mural, there are some pamphlets with information, and one of them does talk about the murals and Isaiah Carpenter, who painted them. It gives a little bit of his biography, born and raised on the island, instrumental in the search for these missing girls, and then talks about how he was asked to paint the mural, that the church actually approached him to do that, and that he was also then commissioned to do that portrait of the Virgin Mary. You would see that the murals were completed sooner. The murals were actually completed in about midsummer of 1935. The portrait of Siobhan was not until closer to the end of the year, at least in terms of completion. Okay. But it is noted that he was working on that for almost the full year. In fact, they comment on how impressive it was that he finished up the mural in such a relatively short period of time while he was also working on this other portrait.
Okay. And then I don't know if I have it in my notes, but what was the year that Siobhan thought it was?
Siobhan thought it was 1934.
Okay.
There is one last thing that you find, Sophie.
Oh boy.
You mentioned you went to the altar and started snooping around. And so you were looking underneath where certain items are stored, and you found a box. Did you open it?
Absolutely.
I think she's just like, I knew the answer, but
she's just like, she like pulls it out and chuckles to herself. she's just like, this is what I learned from my investigative journalist friends, and then just like pops it open. She's like trying, if it's possible, to like take pictures, record everything, like take a couple pictures, put her phone down, do like open the box, do all that stuff.
Absolutely incredible, and so very Sophie. And I'm actually going to say, Sophie, you're not able to immediately open it because it is locked. How do you try to get around that? No.
Oh, I'm back. Oh. I'm back. Okay. There was a moment. Is it locked with like a normal lock, or how what does the mechanism look like, I suppose, if there is one?
You're actually not entirely sure. It looks like it requires some sort of key, but it looks like it might require more of like an object placed into it and then turned. Like, it is not an easily pickable lock. It looks like it has some sort of mechanism. In fact, I almost think Sophie, just from what I know of Sophie, probably is like, what is this escape room bullshit? Like,
yeah,
nobody does this in real life.
No. She was invited to an escape room once and hated it, and they lost. So I guess in this case, I think I would want to ask my second question. Using the child's eyes thing.
Yep.
If that's okay. What would a child see if they looked at this situation?
I think a child would very quickly recognize there is this pattern, and they would start looking for the object in question.
Okay.
And what I am going to say is you do not find it by the altar.
Okay. I think she takes a picture of it for sure. And then she starts looking around the church, goes back to the altar, and just takes the box with her. And then I think that's when she goes into the office to see if there is anything important in there. I don't think this would be something that's been lying around.
We're going to leave Sophie there just for the moment as she is looking to see what she might find.
Foraging.
And we're going to go to you, Kai. So,
yay.
Kai, you are trying to use the high to figure out some stuff about yourself. Perhaps understandably shaken by the fact that you met Siobhan, who was murdered, and Raven, who has acknowledged that he was dead, makes you start thinking about your own death.
I don't want to get possessed on this fucking island.
And for you, it is a bit of that feeling of time slowing, time glitching, but more on the glitching. And you know that's probably not the edible, not for you. Like, you did not take that much. You are used to this. Yeah, you might, space out for a minute or two here or there, but time is not going to be fracturing and fragmenting around you. And certainly space is not going to be doing that either. Because you find yourself in what you presume is perhaps the crypt of the church, the catacombs beneath.
There's catacombs in this island? Beneath this church?
Well, I mean, where else would you be? You know that there's catacombs around you.
There's tunnels in the island. Oh, shit. Okay.
And it is dusty. The stone beneath your feet is cracked. And there are those cubby holes for bones all around you.
Empty or full? I don't know how many people have died on this island. Okay, cool.
Honestly, fuller than they should be.
Oh no, I don't like that.
What would Kai like to do?
Kai's just gonna take a very slow, deep breath, just like, it's not real. It's not real. I'm not actually here. I'm just being digested by a heretical church or something. Cool. No, that's worse. Fuck. Kai is gonna look around. And I guess move forward to see where this leads.
Which direction? Because you seem to be standing in the middle.
Oh, great. Do both turns look the same? He's gonna go left.
Hi, what is it? I'm going to ask you a couple of questions, but I'm going to start with, what are you feeling as you're looking around and seeing these graves?
It's definitely feeling cold. He's feeling kind of sweaty and clammy because he doesn't want to be walking in a bunch of catacombs. It's not his style. And it's not the vibe he's interested in given this situation. So he's feeling very more on edge again, for sure. But also there's this curiosity of, what the fuck would I be down here?
What does Kai fear the most about death?
Ha! Wow, okay. Just give him a crisis out of nowhere. What does he fear the most about death? That in the end, he will have left no imprint, no emotional impact, no connections behind. He would be untethered and abandoned with no one to really miss him. And without any memories of you in life, how can you even be a ghost?
And I'm going to give you a choice.
Okay.
In this moment, is Kai more interested in how he dies? Or that question of whether he left an imprint?
Think right now it's going to be the how, because this island is fucked up.
And so, Kai, you are walking for what feels like miles. It is silent outside of your footsteps. And you have to imagine you have crossed half the town, at least. At which point, you're probably about to turn back and just see, does the other path get me anywhere sooner? But you see something glinting up ahead. And there's a moment where you move forward and maybe even startle a bit because you see movement. But you realize, you think it is a mirror. That's what you think at first.
I don't like that in this place.
But as you move closer, you realize it is a sheet of water just stretched out across the tunnel. You approach it.
We've come this far. Sure.
Hi, you've been trying to make sense of the fragments you've gotten throughout your life. You've tried to understand what you need to avoid to be safe. You thought there was a moment where you thought your end might have come in the backseat of that car. And something you've also noticed is that your understanding of what the end of your life involves has not been static over time. Because you did have moments where you felt that crushing cold of the water, where you saw the same images you saw that day. And that's why it is perhaps jarring when you see what is reflected back in this sheet of water. Because you wouldn't have been able to make sense of it before. But you see a room, very white but dingy, perhaps even soot smudged. You see hospital equipment, a hospital bed in the background, pushed off to the side, rusted, worn. And you see yourself lying on the ground. And Dominic standing over you with a knife in his hand that is dripping red with your blood. And that is where we are going to take a break for tonight. And so don't go anywhere, everyone. It's fine. It's chill. Everything is so fine.
Oh my god.
I didn't do it. That wasn't me. That wasn't my fault.
Everything is great. Everything is fine.
Steph, this is because you threatened to bring
it's because I threatened to bring the Brioski. Yeah, this is revenge. Yeah. This is so uncalled for. It's just a delightfully lemon
that seems like that's on you. Seems like that's on you.
It's just a lover's quarrel. It's fine.
Oh,
it's so fine. Everything is fine. Bottom S, everyone.
Bottom S. For more Bottom hospital S tunnels.
We'll be back in 10 minutes. Don't go anywhere.
Sophie's never leaving.
It was Dominic, right? I could tell by the body language it was Dominic, not Raven, in the vision.
You know, that's a really good question.
Yeah, you can answer it?
I don't know if you could.
See, now that's rude.
Are you gonna answer it,
I mean, Steph does know where I sleep.
I do, next to my room.
I feel like the answer, like, I'm not the GM of this game, but I feel like my answer as a GM would be, I don't know, fuck around and find out.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
That is the correct answer.
Kai will not
Which
be
I believe
walking
we're
into
always
hospitals.
invited to do. Yeah.
Yeah, then the Rammies happen.
The
I mean,
FAFO
I feel
index
like-
is high.
Right. Ooh. That FAFO do be high a lot.
Oh, that FAFO index.
FAFO.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like if anyone's FAFO is
Saying.
high, it's Sophie's.
Yeah.
Like,
No,
Sophie should
honestly,
definitely be higher than Kai.
She's only in the fat, you know what I mean? She's just fine right now.
Like, Kai's just trying to peek behind the veils of reality. Like
a normal person.
You do.
Like
you
you do.
He got a postcard from a dream. This is normal.
Yeah, this is
I
fine.
feel like we should. I feel like we should perhaps discuss what we're calling normal. And I got up and could have closed that door that I absolutely went through and did not. So that's just a thing that I have to live with now.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Are you awake, Nancy?
I'm still gonna say Sophie's the most normal.
No.
You can say that, but it doesn't make it true, Raph.
You could say a lot of things.
Yeah, you sure
Sophie's
can.
first instinct to find out reality broke was to like pilfer the church. Not to figure out why this is happening, but to just benefit herself.
Dope. Reality broke, y'all. Crime is legal now. The purge every day. Reality is meaningless.
It's all fucking around. No finding out. Gang, gang.
Literally. Listen, if time keeps being stopped, then she'll have so much time to write her dissertation. So again, it's all uphill, baby.
It's all uphill.
Fafa.
Okay,
the ball is rolling up.
I don't know if I actually believe that Sophie would sit down and write her dissertation, though. Like, I think Sophie would just be like, what can I do that I'm not supposed to, and how much of that can I do?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if you're given infinite time, you're going to procrastinate.
If 100%, I think Sophie is definitely the most relatable character in this fashion.
Time to finish a project?
Absolutely, like a minute doesn't pass. She's like, time stop is real. I'm going to look at no question.
I'm going to be fully illegal.
Della, are you drinking brioski?
No, it's chamomile tea.
JD, you gotta drink brioski quick before it stops fizzing. You know that's the rule.
No,
or else it's not effective.
Chug it? You have to chug it?
Yeah, while it
that's
fizzes.
Why it's so bad. You have to chug it. They just hand you this glass of water and look at you and say,
the fizz
down
is
that
what settles
in
your
like
stomach.
60 seconds.
Less.
I feel like that is the opposite.
All right, now is it like a little like shot glass? Or are we talking like a pint glass?
No, because the fizzes fill up the glass when you add the water.
No.
And then you drink until it stops fizzing.
Thank you.
Sorrowful.
Correct.
This is normal.
Illegal.
This is normal.
I need my tummy to hurt around you all sometime so that I can be
don't.
It makes your tummy not hurt, though.
You don't. You don't need it to hurt. That's okay. You can just not. Yeah, I know. I too have questions, Della.
Anyway, Fafa for life. You know what I mean?
Incredible. With that, I'm going to dive us back in. But before we do, we are going to go over a few content warnings. I know there are some you want to add, Della, and I want to just throw in, I've already had references to it, but stalking as a content warning.
Yeah, not sure if murder-suicide or murder-suicide. We're going to find out.
So we are going to have a lot happening in the second half of our episode. And in fact, we are going to be starting with you, Siobhan.
Let me put down my tea and put my angry face on. Where the fuck do you think you come from?
He just looks around and says, I've been here my whole life and beyond.
I don't know how to say this properly. It's probably the drugs. But if you don't get your ass out of that tree this minute and come look at me in the eye, I'm going to shoot you in the face.
Siobhan, you were a lot of things, but violent was not one of them.
Would you like to test that hypothesis of what I have become since the last time we interacted?
And he looks down at you, slowly closes his sketchbook, puts it in his bag, and hops down from the branch.
Is that so fucking hard?
Ask and you shall receive.
Bitch, I threatened. I asked, you didn't do shit. I threatened and you got your ass down. I'm not playing games with you. You don't get to tell me how I did things. I'll tell you how I did things. My memory works perfectly fine now that I'm not on whatever sick-ass drugs you gave me when you murdered my ass. Would you like to tell me about that? Edify me, please.
So you don't remember that part? You don't remember how beautiful it was?
I remember there's nothing to be afraid of. I remember that dying felt like coming home. Like something I always knew I was supposed to do. But you know, there's a difference between being afraid and being angry. Give me a reason why I should give a shit about beauty now when I am dead and cannot appreciate anything.
It is very clear that even with the rage flowing through, Isaiah is taking everything you say very seriously. He pauses after you finish speaking, and it is because he is considering the question you just asked, and not just about to give some sort of flippant response. And he says, Siobhan, it was so important to me that you didn't suffer. It needed to be peaceful because that was what you deserved.
And what do you deserve?
We're both ghosts, Siobhan. I think it would be fair to say that I got what I deserved.
Was it quick? Was it peaceful?
No.
Good. I'm done talking to you. You got any kind of fucking control over this place? If you do, you can send me right back onto Rachel's body. I like her. She'd have shot you. I'm still thinking of shooting you. Do I have Rachel's guns on me?
You do.
Why, looky fucking here. Maybe I will shoot you.
Neither of us are alive, Siobhan. I think you can do whatever you want.
Well, what's that old thing they say? Hell is other people? Bang.
I'm actually going to have you roll with Shadow.
Okay. I think you should, not telling you your job, but you should also probably make me roll with physicality. She's not holding this gun right. She does not know what she's doing. She is going to hit herself with it. She has no hope in hell of actually hitting it.
I will let you roll both.
But I will roll with Shadow.
I think roll with physicality, but also roll with Shadow.
With Shadow first, that's a 10. Physicality, is a 9. I have a +0, so I rolled an 8 and then a 9.
So with that, I will say that was in line, honestly, with what I would have given you just with Shadow alone, because as was noted, the fact that this item is on Siobhan suggests that there is something special about it, because it is not hers, it is Rachel's. Now, Isaiah has just been standing here, like literally just arms outstretched, like complete, not moving target. And Siobhan, you take aim, and as you were saying, you should not have been able to aim, but something steadies your hand, and you hit Isaiah right in his chest. And there's a moment where he is clearly ready to just be like, see, I told you this wouldn't work. Look, nothing happened. Bullet passed through me. but there's a spot of red growing on his shirt. And he presses a hand to his chest. And Siobhan, he looks afraid and looks at you. Says, "What are you?"
Vengeance.
And he drops to his knees and he is still staring at you. And even as he is starting to cough up blood, he smiles and nods and says, "This is how I would have wanted to go. With your face the last thing I saw."
I will turn around.
Do you stay there or do you start walking?
I think she very much wants to. I think she stands there for a second, and there's her hand that's holding the gun is she's just shaking. She's just shaking, and then she takes a deep breath, and another voice, also Southern inflected, speaks in her ear and says, "It's going to be all right. Take a step. Take another step. You walk away. And you don't need to look back." And she starts walking.
And as you are walking, Siobhan, you hear Isaiah calling, screaming your name. But he's having a harder and harder time getting the words out until it's just gurgling breaths that are left. But you don't even hear much of that because you are feeling that tether between Siobhan and Rachel. And you're not quite sure how the two of you were separated or exactly where this is going to lead. But you know that you are getting close. And in a few more steps, if you so choose, you will be back in your time.
I think the way it appears to Siobhan is walking back into that darkness where Rachel's body is just still sort of standing, sort of locked in place, sort of unseeing, unmoving, sort of walking up, placing a hand on the shoulder and asking this time, "May I come in?"
How does Rachel feel about this?
Rachel's never had anyone in her life. Not really. Not anyone she could really count on. I think this is the first time she hasn't felt alone in a very long time. And that's part of why there was such an easy sharing between them of like, yeah, you can see this. Yeah, you can see this. So I think for Rachel, there's a little bit of like resistance of like, I would very much still like to drive. Sometimes. You gotta let me drive. You gotta let me drive this car. But is kind of relief. There's a relief there of like, oh, I don't have to go back to being alone.
And because there is that agreement that Rachel is no longer alone, and Siobhan perhaps has the opportunity to experience some things, many things that she did not when her life was cut short. What I am going to say is from here on out, with the exception of certain instances where we may need roles, you can choose which playbook you're using depending on who is driving. And I will not make you, again, except in certain circumstances, roll to decide that. If you're like, Siobhan is the one in charge, we're going to go with that. If you're like, Rachel would be better at handling that, we'll go with that. But I think with Siobhan having had the opportunity to take revenge against the person who killed her, she is no longer just a passenger. And with that, leaving Rachel and Siobhan perhaps preparing to rejoin the others, Raven, you sat down in the place befitting your position.
Absolutely.
You were awaiting the sermon.
Mhm.
How is Raven feeling being back?
I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop. I heard him. So, he unfortunately is not far. But I haven't seen him yet. So that means I get to have fun until it's time to be serious. I'm sure there's some misunderstanding that we can clear up later. I acted in his interests, even when he passed on. So, shouldn't be too upset with me, right?
Raven, you very much, I feel like saying you enjoy social connection isn't quite right. You enjoy what you can bring to the social dynamic.
Oh, certainly. I love playing with the threads. I thought for a while to call myself Spider, but I thought that might have been a little too on the nose.
And right now, what is feeling unsettling is the fact that there are not any threads for you to be maneuvering. The clearing is empty. You are the only person sitting here.
That's so boring. It really fucks with my high, you know? Suppose I can stand up. And I guess we can go, probably. Well, I can go. I don't know about anyone else here.
And so, Raven, you stand up, you turn, you walk away.
Mm-hmm.
You turn, and that pyre is still in front of you.
Turn around again.
In front of you to a different distance. So you had said you took the seat at the front. So when you were facing it in that direction, it was right there. When you turned, it's still there, but it's at the end of the benches on the other side.
So it's going to be a bad high. Got it. Ah, well, I've had some of these before. Listen, time for that is over. The fire burned, and then it went out. Time to let new things grow from the ashes that you burned. He's just saying that out loud, not to anybody in particular.
Raven, I would like you.
Mm-hmm. You want me to do a roll about it?
I actually would like you to roll to remain calm.
Oh, cool.
Which is a flat roll minus your psychic damage. Which I believe for Raven would be 0.
Yes, for Raven is 0, thank goodness. Yay, that doesn't transfer over. Flat roll. Unfortunate. That's a 6.
Oh no.
That is unfortunate. So you are
Insight,
going
though,
yep, you got some insight. You're gonna take 2 points of psychic damage.
Oh my.
And then I'm gonna ask you to tell me, Raven, as the fire, both of the fires, jump from where they are on the pyre to the benches around you. And everything starts igniting.
Oh.
How do you respond when you lose your cool completely?
Whatever spot I see that is clear of the fire, I run there now. Quickly. There's a scream. It's the scream of someone trying to flee. They're just desserts. They are running from the consequences of their own actions, and they're currently cornered.
And you make a beeline for the middle because the fire hasn't quite spread there yet. But it is becoming a wall around you. And you know, as you said, this is trying to escape the consequences of your actions. And this fire is saying, no, you're not.
I think in that moment, with the panic setting in, Raven's control slips. And Weston, who has been beating at the door mentally this entire time, would take over. Because now this is him. Like, this is his own well-being that's put in danger. And he doesn't feel much of anything. So the panic is nothing. So.
And I think it's interesting in contrast to Siobhan and Rachel, where Siobhan was disconnected from Rachel's body and back in her own while she walked through the cemetery. Raven, you too were back in your body. But in this moment, as you panic, it's less that Weston takes over, it's more that you pull Weston into you.
Oh. Interesting. Looking. Sure. Why not? We're going to fall back on our runner's background, our track and field background. And we're just gonna over the flames.
Give me a fight or flight roll. So roll with physicality.
Physicality, absolutely. Yeah. 12.
And once again, the dice are telling a story that makes a lot of sense, because as Weston takes hold and starts running, there's really no way you should be able to outrun the flames. They are surrounding you. But it's almost as though Weston maybe sees a break in them, sees an opportunity, or it's maybe that the flames don't want him. But either way, you make it straight on through, and as you come back to yourself, you stumble out of the chapel, still smelling smoke, but it is Weston, who now has Raven on board as a passenger. And you, unlike Siobhan, will not have the opportunity to switch back and forth easily.
No, that's fair. All right. So, when I come out? Am I still in Weston's body, or is it magically Raven's body now?
It is Weston's body.
Okay. Good. Good. What is this? Okay. Kai. Rachel, not Rachel. I don't remember. Sophie.
Am I there? Do I see him come in?
You have gone out to the church offices, so...
Oh, that's right.
You do hear a voice, though, and in that moment, you also see Rachel step out, presumably from outside. though you didn't see the door at the end of the hallway open.
And Rachel steps into the office?
She steps into the hallway that the offices are off of.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, I think Sophie's like digging through, and as soon as Rachel / Siobhan comes in, she like slams a drawer. Oh, you are here. You didn't find the priest, I'm assuming.
Stella, you are muted.
Sorry about that. No, I didn't. I didn't find a priest. And are you, just out of pure curiosity,
Yeah,
are you digging through those drawers
I
with
am.
your bare hands?
Yeah.
No gloves on?
Well, okay, so time had stopped, so I figured
Right. I forgot
I'm gonna
when
do
time.
some digging.
I respect that.
Mhm.
I'm just gonna suggest that even when time stops, we may still leave fingerprints behind. So,
I mean, I haven't taken anything yet, so I'm sure it's fine.
fair enough. If you don't leave any evidence that there was a breaking and entering, because that door was locked.
Oh, it was open for me.
Oh, it was open for you?
Sophie. Hey,
Shenanigans.
Sophie. Roll
Yeah.
sociability right now.
Oh, okay.
And no, your bonus does not count in this instance.
That's what I was going to ask. Okie dokie.
Time to find out, maybe?
Time to find out. Yeah, that doesn't matter because that hold on. 10, 12.
Sophie has never done anything wrong ever in her life. Yeah.
The mom of the group.
She is just an impulsive child, and she is not lying to you at all. Yep. Factual statements across the board.
Well, good news.
Mm-hmm.
I have confirmation that it was, in fact, Isaiah Carpenter that killed Siobhan.
Oh. How?
Nothing that's going to work for your thesis. Wacky spirit quest shenanigans. But she shot him right in the chest. Good shot, too.
With your bullet?
My gun. She had my gun on her. Proud of her.
Is there a bullet missing?
Oh, what an excellent question that is.
I know. That's what I'm in for.
Gonna pull it out and gonna check the clip.
There is a bullet missing.
Well, how the hell about that?
And you were worried about my fingerprints.
I mean, I still am worried about your fingerprints, especially if there's also my gun bullets out. There's like bullet casings out there. I'm actually going to want to go and find that.
Wait, so time didn't stop for you?
Oh, no, fully did. Fully did.
Oh, okay.
Black boy to space.
Oh.
And then I was just kind of along for the ride while Siobhan sort of did her thing.
And
she's
Dominic, you can hear these two.
She's kind of taking a nap right now. She had a big day.
Oh, okay.
Why would you all let him get me high?
To be fair, Siobhan had never been high before, and she really wanted to be.
I did nothing. I was away. I was talking to some friends and I came back and you had already taken some. So how are you feeling? Do you want some water?
So you're back.
I don't have any, but
Yeah.
I have some. She find like big purse, pulls a bottle of water, hands it to you.
Yeah, he's just gonna bloop bloop chug. Okay. Where did my glasses run off to? You know what? Never mind. I'll deal with that in a minute.
I think they're in your car. I think they're in the glove box of your car.
Okay.
Did time stop for you?
Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Were you in the church?
Not this one. There seemed like there's another one on the island, though that one felt a bit more natural. Something about fire. The altar was a pyre. And then there was a second pyre because he tried to leave early before the sermon or something, and then there were two fires, and then the whole place was on fire, and he panicked, which was enough to get me back where I needed to be, which was in my own fucking body. I hate it here. I am ready to go.
So I take it you didn't have a fully cathartic and beautiful moment of vengeance in. Right?
With that vagrant, no.
Did he die?
No, not then. He sort of okay. So he put me back in my body. He ran like a coward.
He's still there? Breathing?
I guess that's his name. Let me see. I don't fucking care. I want off this island.
Very cool. Understandable. Where's Kai?
And I think with that, we are going to go back to Kai. So, Kai, you just saw that image of your death at the hands of Dominic.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do next?
Is that, like, scene still in front of me in the water?
It is.
Is it clear that it's like a reflection and not what's beyond the water?
That is an interesting question. I think you don't know the answer to that.
Cool.
But you could find out.
Yeah. Finding out. I was just kind of starting to hyperventilate with that, and it's just kind of like, why? What's the fucking point? Why did I come to this island just to get, like, what? Killed by a hookup in a hospital? Why? What did I do? I haven't done shit. Why am I supposed to be here? What? Who are you? What's been following me? Why do you want me here? And he's just gonna kind of, like, go through the water because he's not thinking clearly. He's a bit high and he's overly emotional, so he's just gonna push through the sheet of water and see if that room's on the other side.
Interesting.
I'm so stressed about this.
Okay. So, Kai, you push through. You're hoping that you're going to get more answers, to see something that is going to give you a clearer picture of why this happens, what the point is, all of those things. I'm going to send you a new character sheet.
What? What?
Ghost. Third ghost.
Oh no, Sophie won! Oh
Yes!
shit! Well, you know what? At least
Mom
the
of the group.
others are
Mom
back.
of the group.
No, Rachel's back. Oh man. Oh no, which one am I? Are you sending to me over the Discord?
Mm-hmm.
Yay.
Yes, I am.
Oh
scared.
my god!
This is fine. On a mess, everyone.
This is
I'm
what
so
happens
excited.
when you go through random sheets of water.
He's high and he's upset. Oh fuck.
High and upset is a great time to get
go through sheets of water.
possessed.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, go through sheets of water and get possessed.
Yeah.
That's
Let
how
the
it
sun
works.
shine in.
That was
It is.
unholy water, actually.
Unholy water.
It's unholy water.
You just
Yeah.
walked.
It was
you just
reverse
imagined
baptism.
that. Yeah.
Well,
exactly.
yay. Now
yeah,
that
you actually were unbaptized.
unbaptized. Much like
how
the
it works.
Ludo song they just dropped. Not a baptism.
Such a good fucking song.
Cool. Well, I guess I don't get to carry over my 4 to psychic damage, so yay, my remain comm rolls just got a whole lot better to make. Oh
And
boy.
so
Arnar.
with this,
Arnar.
you step through. You are, as you pointed out, very high. You are in a space filled with catacombs, and you have just seen the moment of your death at the hands of someone you don't understand why he would be killing you in that location. And there is a part of you that desperately, desperately, desperately wants to not feel powerless and so out of control as you do right now. And you step through the water. And we were joking that it felt like a reverse baptism, but no, it feels like a baptism. You feel cleansed. All of that fear falls away. And you take a breath. And you recognize that this body is not your body. But that's okay. That's fine. It will still do what you need it to do. And you blink. And you are standing in the chapel, looking at the painting of Siobhan. You are so angry. A moment ago there was calm, but you see this, and this was never supposed to happen. This is an affront on so many levels. It is an affront that this is in the church. It is an affront that it is her.
How big is this painting?
It is substantial. It is also set a little bit of ways, so there is a place to kneel in front of it, and there is about a chest-high like panel of wood between you and it.
Gotcha. You're not supposed to be here. Why are you here? She tries to reach up for the painting to try to pull it from the wall.
It is fully actually painted onto the wall.
Oh, okay. Like a mural.
Mm-hmm.
There's this urge to just kind of want to rip at the wall and just try to claw the paint from the wall, but at the same time, this is a church. You're not supposed to damage a church, but this is heretical. It's not supposed to be in the church, but you're in the church. And there's just this moment where she's just kind of like frozen and just has her hands instinctively up and is just kind of like on the verge of tears. And it's just like, this isn't how, this isn't, why did, and she just kind of like snarls under her breath and just stalks out of the chapel just to stop looking at this painting because it's upsetting her and she doesn't want to be upset in a church. Church is supposed to be calming. It's supposed to be peaceful. She's supposed to be safe, and she's not safe right now.
And none of you hear that piece, but you do hear the footsteps coming from the main area of the church.
Kai.
Hey,
You out
Kai.
there?
Weston's back.
Do you guys approach me at all? Because are they in the office or?
So just gonna like peek head out, see if I can see.
I'm not responding to Kai.
Right, obviously. Kai.
I'm not Kai. Don't whistle at me. That's lewd.
Uh-oh.
Don't like that. This isn't funny.
Oh no, sorry. It's hilarious actually, but not.
It's actually not.
Truly. What's your name?
Rebecca.
Hi, Rebecca. My name's Dominic.
It
And
sounds
you
familiar.
are not currently in your own form.
No,
Right.
this isn't.
You're sharing it with a friend of ours.
I suppose. I don't know why.
We also do not know why, but we are hoping to get that solved. We need you to stick around with us while we figure that out.
Raph, you are muted.
You're muted.
Do you mind if we ask you some questions?
Depends on the question.
Oh, don't.
Hey. Read the room.
Listen, we can just start simple.
Why don't we get out of this profoundly haunted church before we do anything?
There's nothing wrong with the church.
Okay. All right. Well, here, let's just update you really quickly on what's going on.
Well, no. I want to get out of here. I need to go find whatever that bullet casing was I shot outside.
Bullets? Who's shooting?
Don't worry.
The church?
No, it was some psychic vision quest shenanigans. I'll be back.
Technically outside. Let's go outside.
A revelation?
Yeah.
Oh, buddy.
Let's go outside. Let's get some fresh air.
Okay.
Okay. Goodness. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna go outside now.
Yeah.
That is fair. The doors open, and I will just say, since you, Rachel, were looking to find that bullet casing, you do not find it.
Are we walking over to the graves
to
look for it?
Yeah.
Do you all follow Rachel, I think is the question. Or does Rachel go off on her own?
Sophie is hovering around Rebecca.
Rebecca's automatically following because she's very comfortable with the church and the graveyard.
Cool. I'm also keeping next to Rebecca.
Hey!
You're so welcome. You're so very welcome. Making sure that they're okay. I mean, physically, we can't do anything about mentally. It's a mess.
We cannot.
I am going to look at Sophie, just like the two fingers.
You're so high right now. I'm sorry. I can't understand.
I am okay. I'm just gonna take you by both shoulders.
Am I still high? I'm still high, right?
You're still high.
Yeah. Still high. Not having fun. He's gonna look you in your eye. Well, right here. Right here.
Right?
Leave her the fuck alone.
The thing is, no. I'm not gonna be mean to her. I'm not going to try to pull the trauma out. But we need to understand who she is.
You're
just like we
absolutely
need to understand who Raven is or Siobhan is.
Did you find out who Raven is?
A little bit.
Okay. Enlighten me. I'm curious. I want to see if your theories work.
You have him in your mind. You can ask him your questions yourself.
Yeah, I could, but I'm asking you because this was your little plan to investigate.
Right.
Leave her
That's
the
confidential
fuck alone.
information. No.
Oh, is it? You need to give her. Look, listen.
I just want to know her name and who she is. That's all. Okay.
Her name's Rebecca.
Clearly okay. Rebecca, what?
I don't know.
Exactly.
Give her a minute.
I'll give her just 10 minutes. Starts a timer.
Deal. Fucking all right. Full 10 minutes.
Yeah.
You don't, and I'm suing you. I'm suing your ass. I swear to God.
I don't think you can sue me with this, but I'll find a way. Promise.
Wow, you didn't even fully commit to that. You didn't even half-ass commit to that. That's wild. That's wild.
I have a timer. It's fine.
Okay.
Anyway.
I think while they're doing that, Siobhan is gonna like stand up after they've looked around forever, sort of stand up, sort of dust her hands off, walk up to Rebecca and say, "Hi.
Hello.
I'm Siobhan. When are you from?"
It's the last year I remember, 1935.
1936.
This was 1936.
1936. All right. Rebecca?
Yes.
Do I know Rebecca? JD?
The name feels like it should be familiar, but in this moment, you're not fully making the connection.
Okay.
You, Rebecca, are.
Oh. Siobhan.
Yeah, I was from like 1934, so I died a couple years before you, I guess.
JD, what do I recall about Siobhan? Just so I'm clear.
Mm-hmm. You
can also message me if there was anything you wanted to keep secret.
There are some things I probably will message you in a moment, but what I will say is you remember finding out about Siobhan's death. And that was most displeasing to you. And I think, actually, as you and Siobhan are talking, you catch a glimpse of movement off to the side, and you turn, and your eyes fall on the gravestone in front of you. And it is the gravestone of Isaiah Carpenter. How does Rebecca react?
When is the date of death? Is it in the 30s or later?
Much later. It looks like he lived well into older age.
Does it say like beloved father and husband?
Yes, it does.
Just kind of like looks at the grave and just kind of pales, and her mouth goes dry and her eyes just immediately start welling up with tears, and she's just like, he's dead. He got married. You left me behind. You promised you weren't going to leave me behind. Why did you leave me behind? Why did you choose someone else? You weren't supposed to leave me behind. Why did you abandon me too? I did everything right.
And that moment with those words, I did everything right, as Rebecca cries in front of Isaiah Carpenter's grave, is where we are going to end tonight's session.
Why you gotta do us like that, bro?
You all
Illegal.
love me when I do things like that.
Mm.
I feel
love
the
you
love
regardless,
in this Chili's
but I
tonight.
go so.
So we had fun tonight. Lots of exciting things happened.
Oh, I'm fucked. Oh, this is fine. Bottom asked.
This is gonna be fine.
You didn't let me sense 8. Apparently, you might have to get along or something. That's rude. Why?
Maybe you could try another ghost. Like,
yeah,
I'm not going to be getting along with mine right now.
I'm going to be real honest with you. I don't think it's going to work out as well for my characters. If you remember what the other 2 playbooks are, it's not good.
No,
it's not good.
Weston's going to need to make some choices.
No, my other playbooks are probably not going to like exactly join in on this.
Sophie has no idea what you guys are talking about.
I feel like this is the playbook Kai has a problem with. Of all of them, this is the one. And she's out now while he's not in a good spot.
This is not great.
Bottom S.
Bottom S, everyone.
He's not in a sharing mood. He's not great.
I mean,
this is his nightmare.
We're both. Hey,
he's got a religious ghost in his body.
I mean, I did too, technically.
Technically, yes.
It was religious adjacent.
Religious adjacent.
Religious adjacent.
It's his own religion. It's a pagan one. It's fine.
It's only a cult when it doesn't have tax exemption.
Exactly.
Oh,
it's a special religion. You wouldn't have heard of it.
It was very exclusive.
Very exclusive.
It was.
And so with that, I'm going to let all of you do your outros, remind everyone why you are amazing and other things they can find you in and a part of. I just want to say all 4 of you are amazing. I know we haven't had the chance yet to see Raph get to experience this,
and we never will.
And
Sophie's
we never
just
will.
Mom.
Raph will just be amazing without ghosts haunting them. But all of you have done such an amazing job with
all
me
of
being
Sophie's
like,
ghosts
here's
are
the
the let
playbook.
me in. And Sophie has like, no, Sophie has her AirPods in. She can't hear
that. Thank you.
We'd love to see it. And so, Steph, remind us of why you're amazing. and where we can find you.
Hi, I'm Stephanie. I was Kai tonight. He was the Martyr playbook. Do you want me to say what Rebecca's playbook is? Or want to say that for next time? Yeah, and I also am now playing Rebecca Dalton, and she's got the villain playbook. I wonder why. She's a little baby. She's a little anxious baby.
Yeah,
she means well. What's the problem?
I love all of the villains.
I do too. I'm so excited for all the villains.
Oh God, I can't wait to give Raph their villain.
I'm so curious and so scared.
It's going to be a mess.
Oh, good.
So scared. You can find me under the handle Lavenza on Discord and the Live from the Apocalypse channel, where I usually lurk. Can also be found on the Dumpster Fire under S. Brown Writes until I can escape to greener pastures. But yeah, usually Discord's your best bet. I'm very excited to see where we go next time. So, yay, thanks for hanging out.
We got Raph back. That is good.
Yay.
We're just flipping in and out right now, so just keep going.
Much like our characters.
Hi, I'm Q. You can find me Midnight Inc. That's Midnight_INQ. Q is my name. I'm sure you get it. I was playing, at first, not Weston, playing Raven, the trickster. And now I am back with Weston, who is also the villain. It's fine. Everything's good here. I don't know what you're talking about. You can find me here, days of the week. Again, it's been a week with a capital W that looked more like two L's, and we just took those directly to the dome. It's fine.
It's so true.
Buddy. But I am around. I have things and stuff that I'm working on, and it will be around. Don't even worry about it. Just look for me. I am on all social medias, I think, at this point, at Midnight Inc. There's no underscore on the blue sky. So there you go. That's it. That's all.
Incredible. Della.
Cool. Hi, hello. I am Della. I have been both Siobhan and Rachel this evening. And that's been great. Playing the Martyr and the Parent playbooks. You can find me here every other Thursday, being these parts. Doing this sort of role play of internal family systems therapy, and doing. You can also find me every other Friday, starting tomorrow at 1:00, running our Urban Shadows campaign, Thy Kingdom Come. Where things are about to get kind of interesting. Some some anti-supernatural bigots just a couple hours ago jumped our friendly golem, and they kind of fucked around and found out, but somebody didn't notice a camera when he went and pushed somebody else's face into a wall from many, many, many yards away.
Mm-hmm.
So that happened. You can also find me back here, also at 1:00 on Saturday, raising money for Extra Life with the Thirsty Swords Lesbians game, Bay of Herons. Bay of Herons is going to be a game about returning to the Earth and general anti-colonialism and restorative justice at the end of a sword, and it's gonna be dope as fuck because I have an amazing cast. And in general, these are the places where you can find me. I don't post on the Hellbird site. Otherwise, you can just find me in the Discord.
Incredible. You're going to be jamming a lot this weekend, Della.
Mm-hmm.
We love to see it. And last but not least, before your internet goes out again, Raph.
It's been a time. Okay, rapid fire. I was Sophie tonight. Sophie is normal, the most normal, the mom of the group.
Incorrect.
The child is the playbook. But mom of the group is the title. What else? I will be back next Tuesday for class reunion. It is a D&D homebrew game. Very fun. Lots is happening right now. Lots is happening. And then I will be back again the Tuesday after that for Cold Iron. Also, lots is happening. It's a great Changeling the Lost game in alternate universe, Soviet Russia. Great times. What else? Other things are brewing. And then what else? I think that's it.
That is fair. I feel like there's a lot of things you can't talk about yet, Raph, and I'm excited for you.
I'm excited as well.
I totally forgot to peep that I'm also going to be in the Extra Life thing on Friday in the Savage Worlds one shot. Keeping up with the religious themes, playing The Blessed. So it's going to be fun.
I think that one is that running on. I think Bay of Herons is running on the LFTA Twitter. I think Savage Worlds is running on Irish's Twitch.
Okay.
Or not, sorry, the
so.
LFTA's Twitch. That's running on Irish's Twitch. And I think the witch game that Vicky is running is going to be on Irish's Twitch as well. So that's going to be, what is Christopher Irish's Twitch? I don't know. You should. Oh shoot, is he in any games currently?
I don't think so.
Yes, Veilbreakers.
He's in
Yes.
Veilbreakers.
Oh,
yes. So
he's in
tune into Veilbreakers to find out what Chris Irish's Twitch is.
Which might be tricky because these games are going to run before that. But that's
Cool. That's cool.
But speaking of that, I will try to go through things over the next few days. A lot of them have already been plugged, so many of us involved in LFTA will be doing some stuff for Extra Life. I will be both in Thy Kingdom Come tomorrow and then joining our Donner Party one-shot over on Chris Irish's Twitch tomorrow night. I will also be playing in Thirsty Sword Lesbians over here with LFTA on Saturday. Incredible. And then I will be rounding off my Saturday playing our return to Sister Cities over with Exquisite Corpse Presents. Season 3 is premiering, and I have the great honor of joining that cast, which I am super excited for. So I will have a very packed 2 days, and then on Sunday, you will have the choice of coming over here for LFTA to watch Veilbreakers, or to be over at Chris Irish's Twitch and to get to see Vicky run a really awesome game that I am sad I cannot join, but I need sleep. Wait, no, that's Saturday. Never mind. That's Saturday night. So yes. Sunday, you can do both. You can see that Saturday, and you can come back on Sunday for Veilbreakers. I think that's all of the stuff that I need to imminently plug, but I am in too many things, as everybody tells me, and you can watch my schedule because in the next few weeks, I'm gonna get slashed. I'm gonna be in Call of Cthulhu. It's gonna be a good time.
I didn't call you out. I didn't count this time. I was trying to be nice, and then you had like 4 fucking things
2 days
in the weekend.
2 days. Yeah,
in 2 days, JD.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. His cat will be screaming all day Saturday.
I sleep a normal amount. Me.
She will not shut up all day.
You know what? I will sleep a normal amount. I'm going to go to bed right after this, which means I'm going to be well rested for Thy Kingdom Come. And then I'm going to sleep a normal amount tomorrow night and be rested for all of the chaos on Saturday. And then I have Sunday off. I will be gaming until 1 a.m., but it's fine. It's fine.
He can sleep in on Sunday until Nancy screams.
Wait, hold on. Don't you have 2 games on Friday?
Yep.
Yeah, he does.
Mm-hmm.
2 games on Friday, 2 games on Saturday.
Nothing on Sunday.
Nothing on Sunday. Sounds like a normal amount for a. This is normal. This is normal.
This is normal. This is so normal.
He's also not running any of the games.
That's also true.
That's true.
He can do what I do when I have things like this and just have like a slight dial tone running.
Mm-hmm.
When you're not running the game, you can just be like,
your thoughts head empty.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the thing. Fine, but I careful of yourself. I'm watching
him.
Yep.
Okay.
Every minute.
Yep. I feel the eyes on me. It is fine. I sleep a normal amount. I swear to God, I confirmed it.
I think
confirmed it.
Most of the time
normal awards. Sophie, JD.
No.
Immediately no.
Because Sophie still doesn't have any normal awards.
I feel like that was Raph's
handcrafted no normal awards don't count.
And with that, speaking of getting a normal amount of sleep, I think we will move to the thanks for watching screen. I will set up a raid and we will call it for the evening. But thank you to everyone who was here and active in chat. Thank you to my amazing cast. And come back tomorrow for a whole lot of chaos on so many levels in both games.
Yeah.
Say goodnight, everyone.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.